digan pendejadas para que pueda poner cosas chistosas. Gracias. Siéntate.
Thank you.
Aquí cerquita, apretaditas.
Okay, I'm gonna hit record.
Dele.
So.
A la puta. Sorry. Está bien.
Sorry.
Sí, se ve.
Hola, buenas tardes. ¿Cómo están todos?
Qué seductora esa voz. Falta Luna, a ver tu voz. Hola.
Mic check 1 2.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Dímelo. ¿Cómo están, mi gente? Bienvenidos al CrxssOver podcast. Estamos aquí con Jahida Sky, Luna Caves
Y Manny, let's go. A ver, Luna, cuéntanos de qué se trata este podcast. ¿Por qué estamos aquí?
Bueno, según yo, digo que es un podcast que son varios amigos músicos, ¿no?
Mara, hablando claro, yo no sé por qué estoy aquí. So,
A mí nada más me dijeron, oye, tú sabes hacer podcast, ¿no? Ven para acá y aquí estoy.
aquí.
Y les dije, traigan las chelas. Y a los tres se nos olvidó.
Arranca para el carajo, no, yo quería un café. Yo pedí un café, pero a nadie me lo trajo.
Una cervecita hubiera estado bien. Sea calma.
Realmente es nomás para juntarnos, hablar sobre diferentes cosas que pasan en la vida. Pues todos tenemos experiencias, ¿no? Y la verdad, pues todos tenemos opiniones. Y
¿No te gusta hablar?
Nos encanta hablar. Y en verdad, no sé si les importa nuestra opinión, pero a mí no me importa si no te importa, porque a mí me importa y eso es lo único que
Porque
importa.
a mí me gusta escucharme.
Ay.
Entonces no importa si no te
Bienvenidos al podcast.
artistas.
Exacto. Pero para que vean cuánto nos gusta hablar, llegamos aquí a las 8, ya son las 9:30. Se supone que esto es un podcast que dura 30 minutos máximo y apenas vamos a empezar porque
No gusta.
nos gusta hablar, chismear.
Porque ADHD.
No, también. Pero hoy, el episodio de hoy no es de ADHD. El episodio de hoy es de ¿qué?
Es de Bad Habits.
Habits. Que por cierto, Luna hizo una encuesta y nos van a dar unas... ¿Qué fue lo que pusiste?
Pues en inglés, ¿no? Que aquí hablamos Spanglish. What bad habits do you have that you're working on trying to change?
That we're trying to change. And then a lot of people...
Yo estoy perfecto.
Tú no puedes hacer
I don't need to change anything. The only thing that I need to change is,
No, ni eso.
no, ni eso.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people were like, I'm perfect.
Yeah.
I don't got to change anything. I was like, damn, bro, I wish I had your fucking confidence, man. That's crazy. Oh, you guys are wild for thinking that.
I mean, cada quien. I
You have
mean,
to love yourself.
maybe they think that they're me.
Maybe they're me.
Maybe they're me. Maybe all of them are my Instagram accounts.
Hey, live and let live, right?
Yeah, exacto. So do you want to share some of the ones que te dijeron?
Yeah, I think I want to share like some of my favorite ones. So, unsolicited opinions.
All right. So that we all get all the time.
Yeah, so someone said that was one of their bad habits, right?
They give unsolicited opinions?
They give unsolicited opinions. And I'm like,
Wait, was that
well,
you?
yeah, man, who the
Was that you? Was that you?
fuck asked you? Nah, but I feel like my take on that is when you're talking to someone about your life, you know, you kind of have to keep an open mind that people do have opinions. And maybe if you don't want someone's opinion, then don't go to that person to, you know, vent or talk about your experience or, you know, I feel like everyone's entitled to an opinion, even if it's unsolicited. But, I mean, that's just my take on it. I don't know.
Yo siento que what compels somebody to give unsolicited? Like, o sea, ¿en qué punto es como que I'm just gonna say this even though you didn't even ask me or I'm not even supposed to be involved in this y te voy a dar mi opinión just because I feel like I have to?
I feel like that has a lot to do with reading the room. Like, si alguien te está llorando y te está diciendo, like, dude, I'm going through it and this and that, be like, oh my God, I remember when I went through it. Like, hold on, no. Like, read the room. Like, this isn't about you and everything that you've been through in this very moment. This is more about how I'm feeling and what I'm dealing with. Can you just take a second to listen to that?
And not give like a familiar like story.
Right.
So
Like
it's similar, you know?
Yeah, first of all, people deal with shit differently. Like when somebody passes away, like you put three people in a room and all of them deal with the same death, like let's say a parent, they're all going to deal with it differently. One's going to be drinking, one's going to be crying their eyes out, and one's going to be living life, being happy and excited about what's next. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be deep, but that's just what it is, you know?
True.
You know, que se vayan para el carajo si hacen toda la vida de ellos. Like, you know, if it's their story, then fuck you. Like, go do your thing, you know? But
go give your unsolicited opinion somewhere else.
So another one that I found interesting was feeling anxious when not working on something.
Ese me pasa.
Como siempre tengo que hacer algo para hacer hustle mode o ser productivo.
Yeah.
O si no estoy haciendo algo, pues es que no estoy haciendo nada. Y realmente, pues, a veces el cuerpo necesita...
Sí, descansar.
Sí, lo que ayuda con eso es que tú mismo te tienes que decir, I am relaxing, I am at peace, and that is being productive. Because I'm giving myself that peace of mind that I need in order to progress.
And that's productive too.
And that's productive.
It's mental health.
Exactly.
Important, right? Yeah,
and
if you're not good.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people just ignore that part. They think like, fuck, I need to be moving. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm the same way. Like, I'm like, fuck, I'm not doing anything. I need to move. Like, all day, right? Like, I'm sure that's a lot of us. And it's hard to turn that off.
Yeah, especially when you're like in this, when you're creative, when you're like trying to make your own business or your own boss, you're the only person that has to be on top of things. So if you're like taking a break, you're like, oh no, like se va a caer todo.
Yeah.
But you need to.
Yes, but also keeping in mind that if you always like that, like at some point your body is going to give out. At some point, if you're not giving yourself that room to rest, then your body is just gonna shut down on you.
Well, even like when it comes to like me being here at the studio, like right now I think I'm on day 16.
Day 100.
Yeah, that because usually I'm off on Sundays, and lately I haven't been taking Sundays off. And like, don't get me wrong, it's not like I work like 20 hours a day every day, but like like it's scattered by all means. But I need to take a break, because if I don't, eventually I'm gonna burn out. And the thing is, when you do something that you enjoy, you don't know that you're burning out until it's too late. Ya te jodiste. Like, you're done, like, because you're showing up, for like work, and you're noticing that your work is half-assed, even though you're not trying to be half-assed, and you shouldn't do that. You see what I'm saying? So that rest is definitely really important in order for you to be able to move forward.
I feel like you always tell me that, like, you're always like, dude, you're spreading yourself out too thin. And this is why you're always like tired, or you're always like, looking for the next thing to do. And sometimes you just got to focus on one thing, or like even just on yourself.
It's because we all underestimate the importance of rest. Nada más rest sleeping. Like, if you only sleep like 4, 5, 6 hours and you don't let your body like recover, it just carries on and on. Así hasta que haces burnout, como tú dices.
And like, again, you don't realize it until it's too late. You're already burnt out and like half-assing everything, and then like shit.
But that's why it's important to, like, como dices tú también, like, make those pockets of time where you're like, I'm gonna rest and this is okay. Sentirte guilty, and when you're in the middle of that, being like, I decided I was gonna take this day off because I put in the work and I deserve this, and I have to rest to be being productive y lo que tengo que hacer for the future. So yeah. ¿Cuál sigue?
Learning to say no without having to explain myself.
Esa ya es fácil. Que no habla.
Damn, learning to say no without explaining. I feel like no, because I feel like I always have to explain myself.
No, I don't. I'm like, no, pues no. ¿Por qué no? Like,
porque no quiero. Porque realmente.
Yeah.
Yeah, and mi prima me dijo algo hace poquito que I had never heard, but obviously it makes sense. Like, no is a full sentence. Like, it just stops when you say no in whatever context you need it,
Absolutely. I have a really hard time.
¿Por qué creen que se les hace difícil?
I think some people expect an explanation. They expect an explanation to whatever is stopping them from whatever that no is to.
Whatever they need to do or need for themselves.
Well, what do you mean no? Like, you're supposed to help me. You're supposed to be there for me. You're supposed to be what I need at this very moment for whatever it is that they're asking. So they expect some sort of explanation. Like...
And what do you feel that you need to give? O sea, tú, a ti como Manny, cuando tú te miras a ti mismo, why you're like, I do need to give this explanation. Like, why is it hard for you to say no?
It's hard for me because I care. Because I care. Like, it's not like I'm just gonna, like, I'm just saying no because no, fuck you. Like, no, like, that's not the case. It's just, well, no, because I need to prioritize myself at this moment. And I feel like that's hard for me to say because
you're selfless.
And then you feel selfish, no? And you say selfish, yeah.
I feel the same way. But I feel the same way only about my people, like my close friends and my family. When I have to say no to them, like, I start feeling guilty, because I'm like, they wouldn't be asking if they didn't really want me there or if they didn't really need me there, you know? But
That is coffee.
No. No.
But
Hey, see, I'm learning, bro. This podcast is already teaching me. And I think, so there's one more, accepting that even my closest friends don't require constant communication. We're all adults moving through life.
Okay, like they feel abandoned, you know?
Yeah.
A mí me pasa eso.
yeah, I'm good. I mean, as far as friendships go, for me, like, and I feel like I've talked about this in podcasts that I've done, is, you know, people need people, and they don't necessarily need to, what's the word? You don't need to need people in your life. You know, it's like someone can be there for a while and they can be beneficial to you, and then you can be done, and that's it. And that benefit can come back later, you know, if you saw something in it. I don't think that people need to be in my life. I mean, shit, even today I had lunch with one of my friends that I've had since I was 7, one of my bestest friends. And I talk to her once a year, if that.
Yeah. But for you, you feel like your relationship is good, Mima.
Yeah. Relationship is great. Like every time we see each other, we catch up, and how's everything going? What's new? How's your mom? How's my family? Blah, blah, blah. Like everything is great. I don't require much from her. And I feel like she agrees in that sense, because friendships are more than just how much you communicate. You know, it's a bond that you can build. You don't necessarily have to be there every single day, as long as you're there when it counts.
For me, I have attachment issues. Por eso es como, I think I relate to that, because it's like, I know I don't need the people, and the people don't need me, and obviously my friends are going to be my friends if they really want to be my friends y todo eso. But obviously in my mind, it feels different. You know, it feels like, oh, no me quieren, or, yeah, I don't know. Shit. But it's because of attachment issues. Eso ya es un problema que yo cargo conmigo that I have to deal with. Y yo me digo, like, obviously that's my friend, and it's not going to be like, they're not going to just stop talking to me just because. And if they want to, obviously I can't retain them. You know, like I want people in my life que quieran estar ahí. So it's just a lot of como balancing y so.
Mostly it's communication. Tienes que comunicar con la gente con quien quieres tener alrededor de ti. Yeah. You know, like you have to communicate, and you have to be like, these are my friends. Just because we're not talking every day, just because we're talking once a month, if that doesn't mean that they're not my friends. That doesn't mean that I don't love them. It's just they're busy. Like, let's be real. We're all adults, you know? Like, and as far as being adults, we have lives. We have priorities. I'm sorry I can't make time to go to the bar with you. I have to go to work.
I think that for me, it was it was harder to accept when I was younger. For me, it's a different issue. I have detachment issues, and that stems from my own too, like my own things. But I think the older I get, the more I understand that we all do have our lives, literally. And I have friends that I've been friends with since elementary school that I can literally call right now and be like, hey, let's hang out. We haven't hung out in a couple years, but as soon as we like see each other, it's like we pick up right where we left off. Yep. You know? So it's like knowing that whatever value you're bringing into the friendship, knowing that worth. Yeah. Because they're obviously your friend for a reason, you know? But yeah, that's what's helped me kind of get through that, you know, bad habit or issue.
I think it's todos los bad habits como que has mencionado. It's just like a lot of self-work and like looking at yourself, but really looking, not just being like, oh, es que yo soy así.
And I love the fact that each of us has a different perspective on that. You know, detachment, attachment, and...
It looks like you're balanced. Like you're good at it. Yes.
Okay, I think I'm balanced.
The clingy friend in your group. I'm the one that needs the most attention.
I don't mind giving that attention if it's required, by all means. But I'm also very, in my opinion, I feel like I'm very good at communicating. And I feel like if I need to communicate, hey, like I'm going to be gone for a week, like don't worry, I'll be back. Like I'll say that, you know, like, you know. But I mean, I think there's a nice balance in between all three of us when it comes down. I think that's really cool because it shows what this podcast is about. You know, it talking about, you know, different things that probably don't matter to the people who aren't watching, but they probably matter to the people who are.
Yeah. And that's I think at the end that's what we really want, like just people that connect with what we're saying, and that we can either help you with something or entertain you, or that you're just like having a good time. Porque at the end, that's what we're doing. Like we're here, and we're here because we want to be here, and also because we're having fun. Well, I'm having fun.
I like talking to you.
We just want to talk, really. I'm having the time of my life.
Esas son puras pendejadas, pero pues,
¿verdad que
está
sí?
bien. No hay pedo, una risita aquí, jaja, y yeah.
Un jaja.
Jojo.
All right, so what's next? What's next?
So, Manny,
Talk to me.
la receta, what is that?
La receta. Okay, so la receta is something that I've been trying to do forever and a half. Basically, a while back, I had, still one of my closest friends. I love him to death. What's up, Doble? Him and I, we tried doing this thing called the Sazon podcast, and obviously didn't work out. Here we are here, baby.
We're second try.
Yeah, so la receta was supposed to be part of the Sazon. And La Receta is basically like a little segment where I'm doing some production. And honestly, like I'm kind of winging it right now when I say this, but I feel like what would be cool is at the end of the video, we're going to throw in like a little clip of whatever it is that I made. And we'll see if anyone's interested. If you guys are interested and if you guys like it, we can talk about the progress or the process or whatever the word is. And we can go from there. But honestly, we're waiting on this podcast. So,
I mean, it's our first episode. You always want to get on the first episode.
Yeah, for sure. I think part of the segment that we had talked about for La Receta is like people listening to the beat. If they like it, they can contact us or you directly better because
no, any of us, because I don't want it to get lost. And
okay, so it's settled. Any of us, you can contact any of us, and if you like the beat, write to it, and then whoever
That's what you have, and then we can bring you guys here.
We can do like Manny Fresco featuring this artist, and we can make some cool songs. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Pues hemos cubierto todas nuestras secciones, hemos pasado por todas las etapas, reímos, casi lloramos, todavía no nos hemos peleado, tal vez en algún episodio futuro, pero por el momento eso es lo que es. This is the CrxssOver podcast, and then we're trying to get different guests, we're trying to talk about different things, maybe do like music reviews, and like he said, we're kind of winging it.
What? The music reviews.
Oh.
Yeah.
Something that we're all going to be doing is whenever and we're not going to limit this to just one genre. Por mí, yo prefiero que sea diferente género, que sea bachata, reggaeton, cumbias, everything, rock, alternative, indie, whatever. We're going to find albums and maybe albums that you guys can share with us, and we can do reviews on what we think of them, and we'll give you our own personal opinion. And I think what would be kind of cool is maybe we can do like a little chart where we talk about certain things, like what we thought of the theme, what we thought of the concept, what we thought of the songwriting, the production, the mixing. We could talk about all those things, so I think that'd be really cool if we do that during our reviews. So if you guys are interested in that, that'd be really fucking cool.
This week we said we're listening to Tiny, right?
Tiny just released his album Data. So Data, that'll be really cool. Definitely an extremely looked after album, something that everyone's been looking forward to. So I think that will be the first one that we review. If you guys have anything after that, by all means, throw them in the comments.
Yeah, and this is something that we, Manny and I would go back and forth on all the time.
With every album.
And we just sit, listen, even if it's separately, like he'll send me something and, hey, listen to this. Let's review it in a couple of days. And which song did you like the best? Why? Just things like that. And I think that we get some good work out of it. So
I feel like it helps us grow, like as musicians, as artists. It helps us grow because we kind of get a little more intricate and detailed with what we're looking for in a song and what we like, and that helps us apply that to what we do with our own music, seeing as all of us here do music.
Porque aquí amamos la música.
Yeah, it's mid, it's cool.
No, yo amo.
I love your music.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. To be continued. Podcast is over.
All right, bueno, eso fue el CrxssOver podcast con Luna, Jahida, Manny, Frescos. Nos vemos en el que sí.